Hey, hi, welcome back. Let's start this off with an update on the paintings that were sold at Soul Brew. So the two that were sold were the one with the rock in the Pacific Northwest, where the rock has like some trees growing on. It's in the ocean and it's like a blue pink sky and the reflection is in the water. And then also the colorful sunset over the ocean. So the clouds and the colors are reflecting. So I'm going to bring two new paintings tomorrow, and I'm gonna bring them there tomorrow, drop them off, put some more stuff up because there's a room now, right? So might as well bring it. Today we're doing something a little different. If you watched yesterday's video, you know that I dropped a hammer on my head while I was putting up my artwork off of a 12-foot ladder. And the metal part hit my head. And I didn't want to miss a video, but honestly, right now, I really don't feel good. So I'm not going to be painting today. We're going to do something different. I just had the idea to show you some of my old artwork and give you, I guess, let me give you a little history about them. Let me talk about them. Tell you my plans for them, if I'm going to try and sell them, paint over them, keep them for myself. And yeah, so let me show you a few. Depends on how long this is taking. It might be like 4 or 5, it might be 10. Which I don't think so, but I talk a lot. So let me show you a few, and yeah, let's do it. Okay, so you see this lovely painting next to me. It's not a painting, it's a drawing actually. It's pastel, and it's framed, and it has a lovely double mat here. I did not do this. I mean, not that I didn't do the drawing, I didn't frame it. This was a art project that I did in school when I was in 2nd grade. And it was, I want to say Monet that we were copying. Like they showed us, it was a year where my original teacher had gotten sick. Really sick, had something happen. I don't really remember the details. All I know is that she disappeared halfway through the year. She never came back. I think she got better. She didn't like die. Anyway, so the art teacher ended up becoming our regular teacher for the rest of the year. Mrs. Cotter, I love her. I don't know what happened, but she was wonderful, okay? She was this wonderful, sweet old lady. She really tried. It was one of the best years of education that I ever had. One, because she was an art teacher, so cool. She always tried to make sure that we were doing our best. She never wanted to hurt people's feelings. She always like empowered you. And she did, like, it was naps every day, snacks every day, and art every day. On top of like learning, like obviously you learn. But with all of that, like everyone was excited to go to class. This drawing we copied famous artists and we used pastels. And I don't even remember what the original one was, and honestly looking at it, I was obviously but my art teacher said that she saw something in it and she loved it. My mom took it home and framed it. I don't know, my mom was really proud of it. So, oh, it's gonna make me cry. This guy. This is Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. I did this in high school. It was my first portrait. It's acrylic, actually. I'm not going to paint over it. I like to keep this one. It's not very good, but it's, for where I was at the time, I was so proud of myself. I was like, I can't believe I did this. I never really showed it to anybody. Wasn't necessarily fond of it. You can tell where my love of metallics comes from. It's part of my history as an artist. There's not much to say about it. I'm not painting over it. I'm keeping it. I keep it inside my studio. You know, you gotta remember where you started. Remind yourself how far you've come, what you went through to get there. And I mean, if I didn't do this and think that I could make a portrait, then I wouldn't be able to make the paintings I'm doing now. I don't even know why I thought I could do this. I was like, I'm just gonna paint him. Wow. I'm glad I did. It started a very long journey. This painting, it's framed because I hung it up on a competition. This painting I was already out of school, out of college again. And I have some of those paintings. I thought I was so cool in college. Second time I went. First time I went for architecture school, second time I went for art school because I really wanted to go to art school and everyone told me I wasn't good enough. Also that I have no career, so I said, fine, I'll do architecture, it's similar. But I needed to go there because I met the most amazing people and they're my best friends to this day. Now, I went to art school, graduated. I learned how to paint. That's about it. The whole business thing is, they don't really teach you that. But anyway, I did this painting. I was already working full-time at a corporate job. And I painted this. This is like the first painting I completed when I just moved in with my fiance, well, husband now. And I would work on it at night or in the morning or on the weekends. And when I finished this, I looked at it and I said, I could do this for the rest of my life. This is the painting. So this one means like the most to me. It hasn't sold yet. I'm not really sure if it's because I have this energy that I won't let it go. But no, I want it to go to a good home. But yeah, she means a lot to me. This painting. This instilled the self-confidence. I know, like, you don't always have self-confidence, right? Things happen, things go up and down. You know, one minute you're doing good, the next minute you're not. But there's always been this unwavering commitment to myself, knowing that I have a skill, knowing that I have a desire to make that skill better, and that obviously I won't quit because I just keep doing things and making a YouTube channel, making a TikTok, making this, doing this, trying this, because I have this skill. I have to use it somehow. It has to be used. I've tried working in a corporate job and working my way up the ladder. It just made me unhappy and I wasn't living my true purpose, which is to use these hands to make beautiful things. They don't have to make art, because it doesn't always have to be beautiful, right? It has to evoke emotion. Anyway, that's what this painting is for me. Let's move on. I have these two, and not necessarily my favorites that I've done. Actually, that's not true. I really like this one and this one. I don't think people were ready to see me do something like this. So that's on them. I mean, I'm an artist, so I'll make and create whatever I want. This one felt very chaotic. Everyone says it looks like jelly beans or something. It was supposed to be like looking out, blind as I am, at wildflowers and all the dizzying colors in a garden, and then bees on top pollinating them. I realize now that I started these backgrounds and stuff right after my grandma passed away. So I guess I was feeling chaotic and trying to make sense of the backgrounds, the neon fluorescent colors. I didn't do art for like 4 months. I barely painted. I actually had a commission to do. That's the only thing I did. I wasn't able to focus. So I did a challenge with Andrea Earhart. She's an artist. If you follow her on Instagram or TikTok, she's huge and she's the best. She does the Artist Academy. So she does a challenge and I think it's end of August, all of September. It's one painting a week for 6 weeks. So I did these round ones because I had them, I wanted to use them. And I had the backgrounds, I wanted to like finish them. So I just felt like this, like the whole 6 weeks was like a symptom of my grief. I felt very chaotic. Sometimes I felt calm. This was based off a picture I took while I was on a walk with my son and my husband. In those rare moments at that time, I was feeling happy, even though I was grieving, and it's okay to reflect on that. And I like how the happy moment is encapsulated by these lines that either, which way you look at it, they either decrease, because the grief is getting easier to deal with, or you're remembering a happy time and it saddens you and your grief increases. Not everyone sees the things I do. It's nice and fun to talk about how I view my art. It also sometimes makes me sad. So this one looks crazy. I love this one, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think it works. This was me, right, as I was getting pregnant. Someone had mentioned that I looked different and said, "Are you pregnant?" And I said, no. So I started taking tests, and it was too early, but they started looking like this. And as I kept, every day I would take a new test, and they just kept getting darker until they were, it was positive. And then I made in the white of the test either blue or pink because it was too early and I didn't know if it would be a boy or a girl. And while I love this painting because it reminds me of that time of uncertainty and excitement and all these crazy feelings like, oh my god, I'm gonna be a mom now. Which everyone who has their first child, you think it's gonna be one way and you think you're gonna be one kind of parent, and then you have the baby and life changes. While I love this painting, it is probably gonna get painted. It's gonna get painted over. It's gonna get painted over. I just painted over a bunch of old ones too. I should have probably waited until I talked about them. But I think I might paint over this one and paint something for my husband because he does a lot for me and he always supports me. He is very into anime and video games and Japanese street style and all that stuff. So I'm thinking maybe one of his favorite characters, and then he can hang it up in his man cave that he has. Or wherever he wants, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But that's that one. I mean, looking at it now again, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. If that makes sense. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna paint over it because, I mean, yeah. This is another fun one, and actually I love this one, but I don't know if I want to keep it or if I painted this for my husband when we were just dating, and he hung it above his bed. It's supposed to be like a fire and ice dragon, and like these are supposed to look like muscles, and he told me, I was like, I kind of want to paint over it, but at the same time I don't. He said you should do an updated version of this. But I don't know if I could do an updated version of this. This feels like a very specific style, and I don't know if I would do it justice. I'm tempted. You guys let me know what you think. Okay, let us talk about this beauty. This owl. Originally, underneath it, I had painted owls. They were owls. But they were owls who, I went over this, like I painted a bunch of stuff on it, and then I went through and I scraped a bunch of stuff off. So I'm like just looking at all the fine cracks and stuff that I did on purpose. Underneath was 2 barn owls that I did that everyone thought I was crazy to paint over. But honestly, I looked at them and I hated them. I didn't think I did a good job. I didn't think I did them justice. And I had this desire to just repaint it. So instead of 1 owl, or instead of 2 owls, I made one. And I painted over it, and I started it at the beginning of the pandemic. And I was doing it on my lives, and I realized I started going live every day during the pandemic. Because everyone was home, I had the best engagement. It was awesome. But this one, I started painting, and it came out hideous. And I was like freaking out because I was doing this live. I said I was gonna repaint it. It was coming out horrible. And I forgot that the progress, like the process of art, there's an ugly process. You have to lay out things, or you have to put certain undertones, or you have to do certain things, and it's ugly. It's not good. So I was not trusting the process, and it sat there and it sat there, and I finally finished it, and I painted the owl, and then I said something is still missing, and I got this crazy idea that I was gonna take Sharpies to it. And this painting taught me that when it's okay to paint over your paintings, whether people like them or not. Someone can like it and be like, oh my God, why did you do that? Which actually I got a few of that from the ones that I just painted over. That one was so nice. If it was so nice, why didn't you buy it? Make me an offer. I just I don't want it anymore. I don't like it, and it's not something I want to keep my name on. Oh, I'm just kidding. Not everyone can buy stuff that they like, and that's okay. But anyway, so it taught me that I could paint over stuff that I don't like, no matter what anybody says. It also taught me to trust the process and to not be scared to show people the ugly side, because I was very scared of that at first. Also, to just trust your gut. For some reason, my gut said, use Sharpie. So I did. And you know what? I love this painting. I love this painting. I love this painting. Look how cool that looks. I mean, come on. Gorgeous. And yeah, I love her. I love the Sharpie that I used. And that opened up a whole new avenue for me. I had never thought to use Sharpie on a painting. I never thought to mix media like this the way I did. And it, like, again, I used Sharpie in a bunch of other paintings that I've done. It let me think of buying the paint pens that I had gotten and using those recently, because it kind of reminds me of the Sharpie, although I love the Sharpie because it's the metallics, and the metallics versus the black. I'm trying to think of any other lessons that I learned. I learned a lot, painted over a lot. My head is absolutely killing me. Another lesson I learned that I'm proud that I did things today. I made a video, even though I don't feel good. You're like, well, you sat here and you talked forever. Why didn't you just paint? Because right now my mental capacity just it isn't working. But I did stuff. I'm talking to you guys. I'm showing you. You know, it's good to revisit all of my past paintings and remember all the lessons that I learned. Because I learned a lot. There we go. That was a bunch of different art that I have made over the years. Some art I made like 26 years ago. Art that I made in high school. Art that I made while I was grieving. Art that I made when I was happy with news of my son. Happy in my relationship. Stuff that I wanted to show, like make, because you make stuff when you love people, you know? You get inspired by love. Things that I made because it just, like, I had this burning need inside of me to paint. But anyway, that's what we did today. Not exactly what I thought we'd do. I thought we'd finish my lovely lady over here. Although honestly, the more I look at her, the more I feel like she's done. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like she's done. The the urge to fully render is there, but I don't know if I need to, you know? Well, I guess we'll see how I feel tomorrow. Anyway, have a wonderful, creative day. Don't let hammers fall out of the sky and hit you. Don't forget where you put your hammers. Don't sit around with a concussion. And have a wonderful, creative day. Bye.